Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago and beyond. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. This is episode 659 of Cognitive Dissonance, Cecil.
7 away.
And buddy, it has been a rough week to be Donald Trump. It's got to be a little weird.
Yeah.
This has got to be a weird week.
Yeah.
We just had the delightful, wonderful, joyous loss. And I know it's a win for Raphael Warnock. And I know that that's what we should focus on. And I will, I promise. But I have to focus instead on the sliver of hope that I still have for humanity that Herschel Walker, by the slimmest, most nail-bitingest of margins.
Be sure to mention that. Yeah, be sure to mention that. I will say this, I was watching the results come in that night. I'm spending some time watching the results. I'm doing other stuff, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I gotta watch just to see what's happening. And it starts out and I'm watching the needles. Mm-hmm. And the needles are a little bit they're just leaning a little like it's too close to call in the very beginning. And in the beginning, Warnock was ahead by a couple, I don't know, a couple 100,000. And then they start moving and it's leaning a little more. And out of nowhere, the needles disappear.
Yeah, dude, I saw that.
And so the needles go away.
Those goddamn needles.
And then I'm like, what the hell's happening? And so I'm watching it. And at this point, Walker takes the lead. So Walker's now above. But I'm thinking to myself, I start reading the actual notes and the notes that are coming across on the site. They're all saying, oh man, no, there's no way. There is no way. We literally have all of Atlanta to count.
Right.
Most of the state is in. There is no fucking way Walker wins. And I was like, okay, fine. And then the needles come back, Tom, and they were like this, and then they are floored as far as they can be. And they're just like as far down. And I knew in my heart, the moment those needles disappeared, that there was going to be conspiracy theories and the social media was going to blow up about those needles because, I don't know, because the New York Times counts the votes somehow or something. Yeah. I don't even know.
Because that's the only news source, right?
There was. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Those needles are the fucking New York Times anxiety needles. All they do is show you your level of anxiety on election night. And the thing is, Cecil, it's anxiety, and every answer is high. No matter where the needle points, high. Because even if it's good, it falls away and disappears. And you're just it's a stress needle.
It's the worst.
Oh, my God. Yeah. But that bumbling fucking dipshit is, thank God, not going to be representing America.
I will say this, though, man. The amount of votes that he got, is that scary to you or what?
It's terrifying that, what was it, 1.5 million people turned out to vote for that fucking guy? A guy who stood and gave speeches about whether or not a werewolf or a vampire could take who in a fight? Are you kidding me? We're gonna elect. There's 100 people in all of America, 100 that get to be senators, and we're like, that should be the top 100 fucking dudes or ladies or whatever in America. And instead we're like, let's pick that guy. The guy with obviously a traumatic brain injury, struggling to put his pants on in the morning.
If that guy was going to give me a nice used car, I don't know I could be motivated to vote for him. I can't even imagine. You're getting nothing. He's actually going to take things away from you. He's planning on immediately cutting Medicare and Social Security when he gets in office. He's the first thing is yeah, man, no, those people make too much money or whatever. He's going to fuck you 6 ways from Sunday, and you know it's going to happen, and you wait in line in Georgia where it's fucking some labyrinthian process to vote in fucking hours. You gotta answer 3 questions. You gotta dodge a rabbit. You gotta go past a holy hand grenade, and then you finally get to vote, and you gotta vote for him. That's your choice, man. What the fuck? I mean, how do you you remember, Tom, 3 years ago. Everybody's like, you got to motivate me. You got to motivate me to vote for whoever it is going to be. If the Democrat, it's got to motivate me. And both you and I are like, man, if you're not motivated by the opposition, I don't know what to tell you because the opposition's terrifying. And then like this guy is like, okay, your other option is a really smart, erudite dude who's been, nothing but a nice guy his whole life. And you're like, okay, it's that guy or this person who can't even string words together in a sentence and make it worthwhile.
Yeah, this fucking guy who will fuck you and not even pay for the abortion after. Like, are you kidding me?
He's ready
this
to
fucking
do that
guy.
To the country,
He absolutely wants to strip America of all kinds of things, including its fucking dignity.
Yes.
Like that's like you have to cast a vote for like, I just have no, like you may as well pull your fucking dick out with a fucking sign on it that says too small to make people happy. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm so happy that he's just going to fade away into the fucking background of history as a fucking football player that was good at playing football. Go be good at playing football, man. Yeah. That was your thing. You got to have your moment, your shining moment in the sun. That's great. Go be rich. Go look at your trophies. Go figure out how pants work or whatever fucking confuses you. Are you fucking serious? 100 senators. That's all there is, man. 100 of them.
Yeah,
and we
100
were like,
of them, and this guy gets lost in every Walmart. Guaranteed.
Right.
He gets lost in every Walmart.
Are you kidding me?
In the parking lot, in the building. He's lost 4 or 5 times when he goes.
It would not be out of bounds to say that this guy has absolutely held a stranger's hand and walked to the intercom to find his like parent.
His caretaker.
His minder. Yes. Are you kidding? Fucking A. But that guy heavily endorsed by Trump, heavily endorsed by Trump, a loss, just a complete fucking loss. Good. Fuck you. Good. We have Georgia. Good. We got Georgia again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fucking fluke. Yeah.
How many?
We didn't get the governorship, but we got 2 fucking senators twice.
Yeah.
Fuck
How
you.
many fucking times does Warnock have to win a race? He won 4 times.
I know.
To be a senator for 6 years because he just won a 1-year term last time.
Right.
It was like a provincial, like a one of those. It wasn't a full term that he was signing up for.
Yeah. He'll be the first black senator to serve a full 6-year term in Georgia.
6-year term. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking great. Because the other option would have been Herschel fucking Walker.
Man.
Who would have just been a stooge of whoever told him like where his fucking oatmeal was hidden.
Dude, the down ticket, the only reason it was that close before was the down ticket stuff.
Absolutely true.
The only reason.
Absolutely
the only
true.
reason.
He did get fucking smoked in this special election. He got absolutely fucking smoked. And he should have, because he's a fucking clown shoe ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't count on him going to the runoff election, and they figured he'd win on down ticket. I think that's absolutely true. So, Cecil, we got to talk about this next story. This story comes from phillytrib.com. Items with classified markings found at Trump's storage unit in Florida. Now, there's a part of this I want to read directly just because I think it's delicious.
Hold on, though. Before you start, how many fucking documents does he have? Like at a certain point, like the FBI guy's going to walk up and be like, what's behind here? Oh, it's a document. Like it's like a bad magic act. They're going to pull like his pocket square and it's just going to be classified documents coming out of it. It's like a fucking, like it's unbelievable. Where are they all at? Like, man, Tom, when you checked out a library book when you were a kid, they would fucking chase you down. They would hunt you down if you didn't bring your library book. Do you not have at least a library card-esque way to decide if someone has classified documents?
It is like he is one of the fucking 3 little pigs making his house out of classified documents.
Yes.
Like, and he's afraid that the Democrats are going to come and huff and puff and blow his classified house down.
It's just Merrick Garland is trying to blow, and then he just finally gives up and starts knocking on the door. No, I'm sorry, I can't get enough air in my lungs to blow it down.
When you were a kid, when I was a kid, and I would get to your point, I would get a library book fine. It was 10 cents a day. If every one of the 11,000 documents that he stole, if he got fined the same way as, let's do some quick math here, Cecil.
Do some math.
Because I like your library.
Yeah, no,
So he stole about 11,000 documents Wait,
11,000. Let's call it 11,780, Tom.
Yeah, let's call it. Why not? Let's use that number, 11,780. We'll I don't know why that number sticks in our head.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Who knows why that number sticks in my head?
All right, now that's a fine of $1,178 a day at 10 cents a document. And he left office January 20th. Isn't that when he gets sworn in? January 20th?
Yeah.
Right, so how many days since January 20th? What's fucking...
Well, hold on, though.
Been
so
almost
this
a year.
is only a couple. They took a bunch like 3 months ago. So
yeah, all right. So let's say he had the documents...
Let's say a year and 8 months.
Yeah, all right. So we'll give it, let's call it 500 days, just because I'm lazy. He should pay a fine of at least $589,000 based on the public library fine system.
That's more than his net worth, according to his taxes. So, yeah.
The courts ruled he has to provide his tax returns.
Yeah.
I love, I got to read this right from this article from Philly Trib, because this is so good. It's fucking chef's kiss delicious. Lawyers for former President Donald Trump found at least 2 items marked classified after an outside team hired by Trump, searched a storage unit in West Palm Beach, Florida, used by the former president. This is a guy who hired a team of his own people to search his own property to prove he didn't have classified documents. And even they found classified documents.
Yeah.
Like, this is like if you have a not particularly precocious child on an Easter egg hunt and you just put the Easter eggs in the middle of the living room and like turn the lights on and off twice. And you're like,
Jesus.
Find the Easter egg.
Oh,
Are you fucking serious? Like all of the investigators it'd be like if I said, I'm going to investigate my own bank accounts for signs of misuse of my own bank account. Oh, look at that. Looks like I used my bank account just fine. And even then they're just like, actually, you know what? In retrospect,
you actually didn't. You paid like 4 people off.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I can't say it. I want to read part of this too, Tom.
Yeah.
It says, a person familiar with the matter said the storage unit had a mix of boxes, gifts, suits, and clothes, among other things. Quote, it was suits and swords and wrestling belts and all sorts of things, end quote. And you know why Trump is a goober, Tom? Because he takes fucking swords and wrestling belts and he puts them in a storage unit. What is wrong with you? You have a wrestling belt and it's not prominently displayed like on your body or on your desk. You're an asshole. There's a reason I hated you. And it was because of the wrestling belt and because you're hiding swords. Fuck you. As a sword person, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that you own swords.
The hardest part about the wrestling belt is finding pants with belt loops big enough to weave it through. You got an enormous, giant, like mom pants or whatever.
It does double as a good deadlift belt though. Like you could do a good job. It's like you spin it around on your back so the plate is on your back and then you just can deadlift nicely. Dude, it's really good.
Last weekend, I told you this story another time, but last weekend a friend of mine went to a powerlifting competition and he won the competition. And so he got one of those belts, Cecil. One of those big, and he was a little embarrassed by it. Like you could tell that he was
don't be embarrassed.
And he like walked over and I was like, we are taking a picture with that belt right now.
God.
I'm like, I was like, you should wear that everywhere. I wear like a bandolier across my chest.
Tom, I figured it out.
Yeah.
We're going to start a podcast award. And it's going to be a wrestling belt is the winner.
Fucking A.
A wrestling belt is the winner.
Can it be a traveling award?
Yes, so, like, a traveling award. Every year, we'll pick a new person, and then we'll get the belt, and we'll send it to them, and then they have to pick a new person after they.
It's
so
like
they
the
have to listen to somebody else's
pants thing.
Yes.
Yes.
We have to commission a leather belt with like podcasts. One microphone jumping off the top ropes onto another microphone. Like this is it. This is it. This is
a $1 million idea.
This is how it works. And we'll give it to somebody else. And then we're making them within a 12-month period. Pick another podcast a reason they get the belt. Yes, I love it.
We are going to. Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
We are 1,000% going to actually do this because that's amazing. The condition of acceptance for the belt will be the moving the belt along.
Yes, it's
like one of those geobugs when we were geocaching.
Exactly. It's like take a penny, leave a penny. You
go.
Take a belt, leave a belt. That's how it works.
I think the rule should be after 10 years, it comes back to us and everybody has to have signed it and we'll start a new belt.
Start a new belt then.
And we'll start a new belt.
Yeah.
That way we'll have 10 years of...
At that point, we're not going to be podcasting anymore. 10 more years. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's going to be an Earth, so...
I don't... Yeah, right?
Our next case on the People's Court. The plaintiff is President Donald J. Trump. The defendant is a manager at Nordstrom. When we return.
This is from Vice.com. Trump's criminal nightmare officially begins. The Trump organization was found guilty on all 17 counts in a corporate fraud case. Experts say it's a sign that Trump's luck is running out and more criminal charges could follow. Look,
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I
Sure.
need it to be true.
Okay.
But
You know what? I'm like that guy who did way too much of a certain drug and my like pleasure sensors are blown out or whatever.
It's just like,
At this
I don't
point,
dopamine.
my give a fuck about Trump going to jail sensors are completely blown out, man.
They're gone.
They
Yeah,
are
they're
gone. Because
They're gone.
we've been fed this IV drip of Trump's crimes for the past fucking 2 years. What do we got? We got the documents case. And that's a serious fucking case, right?
It's a hugely serious case.
Thousands of documents that some FBI agents couldn't even see, right? Then you have this charity case that literally somebody got time for, right? So this is another serious case. Then you have the voter fraud cases in 2 states where they're starting to get really crazy. You got Georgia and you got Arizona, and they're still playing games in Arizona. But in Georgia, I mean, we have a phone call where he's literally trying to get him to fucking flip sides. And then we also have the January 6th hearing. Tom,
How can you keep track of all of it?
I'm like, okay, Vice, what's next? When?
Yeah. What else does he have to do?
Yeah.
You know, famously on the campaign trail in 2015, he said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and not lose a single vote. And, you know, it looked like for a really long time that was true.
Yeah.
It really did. But I do think this fucking guy's brand is tarnished.
Yeah.
I know there's still the fucking loyalists, but I don't think he can move the center. I really don't. He's such a fucking piece of human trash.
I think they did a good job of explaining in, several places in this article too, where they said, if you don't have the Justice Department protecting you because you are a sitting president, things get really bad for you. And
only if you did horrible shit.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. And I think Trump he wasn't sure. And I think he even knew he probably wasn't going to win. Right. So he probably wasn't going to win. That's what, when he was running against Hillary, he was thinking, I'm probably not going to win. But he knew well enough. He was crafty enough. I don't think Trump is smart, but I think sometimes he's crafty. And I think he's crafty enough to know that from that point on, he could always use the words witch hunt, and he could get people to believe that he was being persecuted unjustly, unfairly. And I think he knew that he could constantly, there's going to be a contingent of people out there that will actually believe that. And there won't be a small contingent.
Absolutely.
He just got lucky. And then he never stopped doing bad things because he was like, well, I clearly am protected now because I have this, this whole crew of people. And then he did all of these bad things while he was in office and then after office taking those documents. So
he feels to me also like a guy that lives and makes all of his decisions in this very like for the moment kind of way. So like, I feel like once he's in office and he's like surrounded by, all of the accoutrement of power and all this sort of like bastions of power that sit and undergird somebody like that, all of his decisions were like, this is who I am now. Not this is a 4-year temporary position you have to earn again. And even if you do, it's only 8 years.
Right.
Like, I feel like he didn't have a fucking exit strategy from all of his criminal shit because he strikes me as a guy who's just like, look, it's working right now.
yeah.
And his whole life, because he's so fucking rich, he didn't have to, there were no consequences.
all
So as
short-
long as whatever he did worked now, it worked.
He didn't need any kind of long-term or any kind of depth perception in that sense at all. Everything's short-term for him. So it
And
works
if you
out
think
perfectly.
about business and the way that business is structured in America, American business is structured the same way. We're a quarterly returns.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So like if your whole life is built on this maximize profit, maximize, gain, maximize advantage, short-term is long-term kind of strategy, then you can kind of begin to understand, like, why would a guy do so much illegal shit knowing that if you don't win re-election, all of your chickens will come home to roost?
Yeah.
All of this fucking guy's chickens are coming home to roost, man.
We'll see, man. I really want to see something happen in the next 2 years. I'm very curious to see what the House is going to do to try to stifle this, because you know that they will.
They will. 100% they will. I do. Like, does the Senate have any committee power to investigate shit? I don't know that. I don't know
exactly.
That.
I'm not sure exactly. I don't think so, because I think the House, they would have probably used it if they could.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
that's very true. Yeah. No, I guess they probably don't, now that I think about it. I've never heard of a Senate committee the same way you hear of House committees.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if he doesn't go to jail, and I think, the idea of seeing that motherfucker in a fucking jumpsuit, paunchy and sad, is just like, it probably will never happen, because my life just can't be that good. Like, good things can't happen to us like that. But even so, like, I would love to see him get super decisively curb stomped in 24, but not even by the Democrats, by the Republicans. Yeah, I'd love to see the Republicans primary the shit out of him and him lose the primary.
At this point, I have a hard time seeing him get past DeSantis, because DeSantis will just do what he did on the stage in 2016. When he was running, he essentially just looked at all the other people and he said, I can do anything I want. And so I'll just make fun of you. I'll make fun of your wife. I'll attack you. I'll basically be a rhetorician up here, as a dumb person's rhetorician. It doesn't matter, because you're not trying to win hearts and minds of geniuses. So he just was abrasive, and it worked. Mm-hmm. And I think there's people out there that are going to do it better than he is, and they won't have the track record that he has. So it's just like I don't see him continuing and able to do this as well in the future if somebody steps up and tries to do it better than him, because I think they won't have the baggage that he has.
Yeah, I think they won't. And I think that what I would love to see is Trump, Trump has announced his candidacy. I'd love to see the Republican Party primary him. I'd love to see him fight in the primary, lose, then declare that was a fraud, and then essentially poison the Republican to create all this fucking infight. Because all it would do is delightfully create infighting among his, maybe he would even run as an independent, start the MAGA party, right? Yeah. Because as long as he's a candidate for office, it to some degree forestalls much of this investigatory shit. Yeah. Because a lot of this investigatory shit, they don't want to bring charges against a political candidate. Yeah. So I can totally see a world where if he loses the Republican primary, that he absolutely starts his own third party and runs as a third party, splits the Republican vote, all of this in order to just, put off getting fucking thrown in jail.
He may split the Republican vote anyway.
He might. Yeah. He might. I think he's at this point, he's cancerous enough that I don't think he can win. And he's delightfully cancerous enough that I think he will poison the motherfuckers that did nothing but enable him for all of this time. And they deserve every bit of it.
Hey, Senator Face. I haven't seen a stiff in a suit that bad since Reagan died. Where you going? Where can I get some hookers? The crack pipe's hanging out.
This story comes from LGBTQ Nation. Far-right extremists turn on Marjorie Taylor Greene and call her a slave to Democrats. So, to give some context to this, last week we talked about the disastrous dinner that Trump had with renowned white supremacist and anti-Semite Nick Fuentes and bizarre gimp mask wearing anti-Semite Kanye West.
Yeah, someone who's clearly having a breakdown, Kanye West.
Right.
Yeah.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene came out because, that's insane. And even Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, I'm going to need a little distance from that. And she came out and said, of course I denounce Nick Fuentes and his racist, anti-Semitic ideology. I can't comprehend why the media is obsessed with him. She called him a very immature young man saying hateful things who's talking about people he doesn't like by an entire people group, which is horrible. And then saying, I'm not racist. And yeah, you are if you talk the way, because that's how you sound. He knows nothing. What has he ever done in his life? So that caused, very predictably, Cecil, the right to turn on Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Because the right endorses far-right, racist, anti-Semitic ideology. And if you wonder if that's true, here's what they said. By disavowing Fuentes, it just goes to show that you're living according to the rules of their game and that they've completely rigged them against us. So they're coming out and saying, look, by disavowing a just objectively horrible Nazi, a guy who literally endorses Nazi ideology, by disavowing that guy, you're no longer part of the far right wing coalition.
Yep.
So there's no divorcing that anymore. There really wasn't before, but you know what I mean.
You gotta love it because what it shows is a couple of things. One is weirdly, Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to look at other people as toxic, and that hasn't happened yet. That's something that I haven't seen her do. She hasn't been discerning with people who she's hung out with. In fact, if you remember, we did a story this last year before the midterms where she was part of a group that had visited with Nick Fuentes and there was several different senators. Gosar also went and did a speaking engagement with him. So he had run another side. It was at the same time as like a big Republican thing. And so they went to the Republican thing. And then they also went to this side Nazi convention that he was running and they spoke there. And then afterwards they did all the, I had no idea Nick Fuentes was a raging Nazi.
I never heard Nick Fuentes.
Who knew? I had no idea. I don't look into people who are asked me to be places. I just go there. Like, what? Don't be ridiculous. Why would I look ahead of time? And so she wasn't discerning before, but she's discerning now, which is very interesting. But the other interesting part about this whole thing is that there definitely is some sort of striations or, there's definitely some different groups in that party. Yep. And those two different groups are now trying to separate each other, which goes to your point. We were talking about a MAGA party. This is the start of that. And in fact, it could be Nick Fuentes who could be the catalyst to start this whole thing. Oh my God. He could be the butterfly someone stepped on and there's no humanity or whatever.
Yeah, I look at this as an objectively good thing. The more infighting among the bigots, the more the racists and the bigots and the misogynists, the more they fight themselves, the fucking more distracted they are doing that.
Absolutely.
The less they're in my way.
Absolutely.
The less power that they have. Fucking fight yourselves all day, you dumb motherfuckers. This is the way to your extinction. And I will gleefully light that path for you so you can walk down that road to hell, you dumb motherfuckers.
For years, there's been people who have been antagonizing the left. I think they call it astroturfing, but I'm not sure on that terminology. Maybe I'm using the word and it means something completely differently. But I thought it's like people basically infiltrating your group and then sort of sowing dissension in some ways by being,
Isn't that called being a Russian?
But in any case, there's been this sort of thing on the left for a long time. The left has been eating itself for years, you know, partly because there's ideological differences on the left on how quickly you want things done. I think that's the main ideological difference is how quickly you want things done. And then the other piece is that there's a group of people, I think, that if it doesn't get done fast enough, they pose as far leftists to make fun of the rest of the group to try to make them feel like it's not happening fast enough and it's your fault. And then they split the group. They say, see, we should have never voted for you in the first place. And they may not even be somebody who even voted for them, but they can say it in this group to be like, we should have never voted for this person anyway. And maybe next time we'll all just stay home, hoping that they'll all just stay home and then the right person on the right will get, but this is happening on their side. But it's happening organically between two people that don't like each other.
Yeah, man. This is like if like there was like a skinhead fight in the fucking in the prison yard, and you're like,
cool.
Yeah, just let them go at it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Should we break that up? No, man. Let the skinheads fight each other. Like everybody wins when the skinheads fight each other.
Let them break each other's bones into swastikas. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Or while walking around all weird with their arms all like that. Who cares? Good. Stay like that forever.
Just everybody bites a curb. Just all of you at the same time.
All of you.
Who cares?
Well, Thomas, it is fair. What work would be complete without the signature of its author?
Yeah, are you gonna sign it, fatty?
Fuck no, I got kids!
You know what, Benji? I think you are signing it. Whoop! Benjamin Franklin.
What?
Right there.
Don't be such a shit, Thomas! Oh.
So, Cecil, you mentioned our, well, I would say friend, but you mentioned, I don't think he has any friends, Gosar, the Gosarian representative. This story comes from Axios. Representative Gosar deletes tweet backing Trump's call to terminate parts of the Constitution. So he tried to make this go away.
Yeah.
But like, fuck you, dude. Twitter's forever. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works. So what Trump truth or whatever
truth
is
out.
this. So Trump's truth, which then gets screenshot and put on Twitter, and that's how we pretend that he's not on Twitter. So with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception in working closely with big tech companies, the DNC and the Democratic Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and will not condone false and fraudulent elections. So that's a tweet that is not aging well already.
He had tried to walk that back by basically saying, no, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally was just like, I didn't say terminate anything in the Constitution. Don't be stupid. I didn't say that. And then
that's not what I said.
They're like, it literally says what you just said you didn't say.
Like, you know, when you write things down, other people can read them, right? Like, that's just not. You're not. What?
How do you get to be one of the most powerful people in the world by like nuh-uh clause? Like, how does that even work? How does it even work? I'm not. Do you go to other leaders and be like, I'm not touching you? Does this bother you? I'm not touching you.
Right.
Sign this peace treaty. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
I'm going to have to invoke the rule of not it. On this one?
Angela Merkel won't keep her feet on the side of the car. The fuck? What is happening, man?
It's so insane.
Like,
it's so insane.
It's so childish and so ridiculous. And it's like so fucking unbelievable that someone who is a current presidential candidate and formal president would say something like that. And, you know, by the way, what Trump was talking about was that night, Elon Musk had released a series of tweets through Matt Taibbi about Hunter Biden, that he had Taibbi dig through the back emails and stuff about Hunter Biden. And they found that the White House and other people, it wasn't the White House, it was the Biden campaign, I think at the time, had reached out to Twitter and said, hey, can you take these tweets down? And then when people looked at the tweets, they're like, yeah, it's because they were like dick pics of Hunter Biden. And they were like,
right. It's like, that's just revenge porn.
That's just, why would you, like, who would, do you think that we need to see those? Do you think the informed voter needs to see Hunter Biden's cock to decide whether or not they're going for? And like, it's such a nothing. You're just like, okay, that's a nothing. Who cares? That's literally it's a family member looking out for another family member through stolen data. I don't even understand why this is a controversy. But it's written out in such a way by Taibbi to make it look like, oh, it's a big conspiracy.
Oh, big tech is colluding with a candidate. You're like,
and then another one came out today. Another Twitter files came out today, and they're talking about, oh, it looks like they pushed some content down by some people. So they kind of they're saying shadow ban, but in Twitter didn't use those words, but they basically made it so that some of their content didn't go as far reaching as possible. And I'm like, it's their fucking algorithm, man.
Yep.
What, they content moderated people and you guys are like super mad? They keep on digging in this the Twitter files and they're just like, yeah, man, we knew all that stuff. It's
and
literally
nothing's there.
not. It's not a news. Like, I don't understand. But the problem is they sensationalize it, and then Musk retweets it. Musk is like putting his hands over his face, like, oh, and he does the theater of making it look like it's something, but it's nothing. It's a nothing, man.
It's and this is not what happened at all. This is not what happened at all. But like, even if you imagine or posit a scenario where, Twitter had an ideological bent on an issue, and as a result, the owners of Twitter used their own platform to promote their own thoughts.
Yeah.
They get to do that.
Yep.
This is not a government-run company. Like, that's the thing. It's like, we have no right to it, where this is not government run. It's not paid for by tax dollars. It's not regulated in any way. It's just a private company that gets to make this. It'd be like if I had a sign company and I said, you know what I'm going to do today with my sign company? I'm going to make signs that I agree with, and I'm going to do it all day. And you were like, well, you didn't make any signs you don't agree with. I'd be like, no, because it's my sign company.
And here's how you know that they are allowed to do this. They just let every single fucking racist they ban back on.
Yeah.
They're allowed to do that. They are now before they were also had primacy for conservative views anyway. But even now they have even more conservative views being thrown out there because they basically unleashed all these vitriolic accounts that got content moderated by people who are like, yeah, man, we just don't want to get sued when these people are saying that sicking their people on them to say like they should kill them and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the Twitter was like, yeah, that's a stupid thing to do. We're not going to do that. We might as well ban that guy. Elon's just like, no, come on back. Well, man, guess what? You can do that. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah, nobody can stop you.
Nobody can stop you from doing that. I don't understand why is this Hunter Biden thing a big deal if you're literally doing the same thing right now?
And also, there's nothing to the Hunter Biden story. That's the thing, that like, we got his laptop. Okay, well, what's on it? Well, actually, so far a dick pic. And you're like, on his own personal laptop? Who fucking cares? Who cares? What? There's nothing. Like, none of the information that's on Hunter Biden's laptop has anything to do with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
So how is this a scandal? Where's the scandal at?
I hope you catch a disease and your dick falls off.
Sister comes from Sky News. Samuel Bateman, polygamous prophet, had more than 20 wives, many of them underage. This is a horrific story. So you know how they caught this guy? They caught this guy because he was driving a trailer of children.
Come on, man.
I'm not even kidding. He had a trailer of children, and their little hands were seen by another motorist poking out of like the trailer. And somebody's like, holy shit, there's a fucking trailer with people in it. And they called the cops.
Unreal.
And the cops, that's how they fucking got this guy. That's how they caught this fucking guy. Is he literally was hauling human beings like fucking livestock in a trailer. These were his wives.
He's FLDS,
his fucking
right?
wives. Yeah. He's FLDS. He's a former, you remember Warren Jeffs?
Yeah.
Who was like the so that fundamentalist shit. Like, he was
marry your 15-year-old to an 80-year-old dude or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. This is a guy who was essentially an offshoot of Warren Jeffs.
Yeah, God.
Who was like, yeah, Warren Jeffs told me I was a prophet. So I'm also a prophet. And the thing is, like, all that religious language, all that religious storytelling, all of that religious like myth making and like heaven and hell and like divine guidance, all that stuff is built to create a structure in the minds of the young people that live and grow up within it that is designed to indoctrinate them just to accept this kind of sexual violence.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
And this is a cult. Yeah, it's a cult specifically to make a couple of people powerful enough to have a harem. That's literally all it is. The rest of this is, we've heard from many of these people in that know more about these churches that are polygamous like this, and they expel the dudes. The dudes get thrown out. While they're wandering 40 years in the desert, they leave some of those dudes in the dust so that they can keep the ladies and have more ladies per person. essentially.
Right, 'cause of course
and then when I say ladies, I don't mean ladies. I mean little kids.
You mean kids.
These are little kids.
These are just kids.
These are little kids. I mean, if you're driving like essentially a school bus down the road, I mean, this is like a school bus. It's just like, it's full of small children. These aren't adults. These aren't people who made a decision for themselves.
No
one thinks that these people can make a decision.
No, this is not an alternative lifestyle of consenting adults, right? This is not
United
that at
States
all.
government doesn't think that you can make that decision either until you're 18. In most cases, you can't like buy a house when you're this age. You can't, buy a car or do like you might be able to buy a car, but like there's all kinds of contractual things you can't do. But for some reason, our country's like, no, it's fine. You get married like a 50-year-old dude.
Yeah, like you can marry a 50-year-old dude, and like when you're into the age of marriage changes by state for fucking reasons. I don't know. There should be a federal law about this. It's fucking goofy to have the protection of children against predators be something that every state gets to choose. But fuck it seems like there should be like one fucking standard, not 50 standards for that, right? So like you're weirdly safer if you cross this border than if you're over that border. That's fucking horrific. But like every state gets to pick, and then also you as a parent you can just sign your kid away to somebody. Like, because there are many states that you can get married with parental consent below a certain age. So some it's like as low as like 14 with parental consent.
What?
Yeah,
14?
Man. Let me look it up.
Come on, man.
Yep.
14? Tom, 14 years old, man.
Yep.
14 years old.
It's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. Most states have a minimum marriage age for minors with parental consent. Oh, I'm sorry. Ranging from 12 to 17.
No. What?
That's 12? What I'm reading right now.
Tom, 12?
12.
That's a middle schooler,
dude.
That's
a sixth grader, dude.
That's a middle schooler, man.
Yep. And that's in fucking Massachusetts. Listen to this. Here are some additional notes by state. Age of consent to marry with parental consent for males is 17. For females, it's 16 in Arkansas. They have a different standard in many states for females and males where girls can get married off younger.
Crazy.
It's fucking horrific. In a bunch of states, it's 16. So I'm looking at this now. Arkansas and Delaware, it's 16 for girls. Massachusetts is as low as 12. Mississippi, it's 15 for girls. New Hampshire, 13 for girls.
What?
Yep. Some states have no minimum age.
Come on.
Minimum age when exemptions are taken into account. Yep.
So you can marry a toddler off.
It seems to be that way from what I'm reading right now.
God, how gross.
It's fucking disgusting, man. This is selling your children.
That is exactly
to
what
a
it
rapist.
Is. That young? Come on,
That's
man.
exactly, because there's no world where that person is not a rapist. Like, it's a 12-year-old.
And there's no world that you should be looking at that 12-year-old and trusting their judgment for what they want to do for the rest of their life.
It's insane.
It's
insane.
Stupid.
You don't let a 12-year-old do anything fun.
You don't let them get tattoos.
Dude, in Illinois, a 12-year-old can't even babysit or be left alone without a parental guardian. But you can be married. So conceivably, you could be 12 and be pregnant and not be allowed to be left alone with it. Think about that. If you were 12 or 13 years old and you got pregnant and had a kid, you would not legally be allowed to be alone with your kid without a fucking grown-up.
Without another person.
How insane is all of this? And religion makes it all possible.
Yeah, this is all because of religion. It's all because of religion.
Yep.
Yeah. Terrifying.
It's horrible.
Speaking of terrifying, can we just look at this guy just for 10 seconds?
Oh my God, dude.
I just want to just really quickly.
His eyes are so close together.
I'm in the wrong spot. Hold on.
He's got like uni-eye.
So here's what I want to say, Tom. When you look at this guy, and now the people who are looking at home, here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine a person cut off a smaller person's face and is wearing it. That's what I think it looks like.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it looks that's exactly right. All of his features are too small.
They're all too small. Like he's shrinking, like it's shrunk, right? That's what it looks like. It looks like his face is all weight. Like it's like there's a black hole right behind his eyes and it's all being sucked into the center.
You know, when you're like first learning to draw faces and you have got the shapes right, but you haven't figured out like the size in relation to the proportion.
Yeah,
this
man.
is this guy.
This is
That's
that
like,
guy, yeah.
This is a fucking rough draft of a person. That's
like
what this is.
He's like a Salvador Dolly come to life. Yeah.
Will you stop talking about the war?
Me? You started it?
We did not start it.
Yes, you did. You invaded Poland.
This story is fucking nuts. This is from CBS News. Germany arrests dozens as QAnon-inspired Reichsbürger group accused of plotting to overthrow the government.
Germany? No. Go lay down. No. Those are our crazy people. You can't have them. No.
What the fuck?
9.
What the fuck did we export? 9. 25 people? A conspiracy of 25 people.
I can't anymore. How the fuck does anybody outside of our crazy fucking house, our nutcase, crazy fucking people walking down the street with AK-47s, we're overthrowing the government 2 years ago. We don't even know if our elections are working. We are just absolutely insane in the membrane in this country, like absolutely nutcases. You can't have our crazy people. Somehow, other countries, we got people dressed like Trump in Japan. You have MAGA people in Australia. You have them in Germany, and they're not just like, oh, I kind of like QAnon. They're like, oh, I kind of have a lot of weapons and I might do something violent.
Yeah, man. Like violent extremists in Germany feels a little alarming.
It really
this
does.
Feels a little like when we are living in a world, I mean, like where fascism is on the rise and violent extremists are plotting to overthrow the government in Germany. I feel like this is hitting a rewind button none of us can afford to hit.
Absolutely,
none of us,
man. Absolutely.
What the fuck? They say that the #1 export in America is American culture. This is what we're exporting right now.
We're exporting 4chan.
Like, Cecil, more than anything in the whole world, I want a fucking rewind button.
Every morning I walk into my bathroom and I look in the mirror and I tell the people who are running this Truman Show that I want out. I say it every morning. I say it. I look at myself and I go, I just want out. I want it to stop. Can you stop it, please? I get it. You got me. I mean, you got me. You got me. You got me. You got me. But holy shit, I want out. And I read this story and I was like, I actually am going to take a bathroom break today. And I'm going to go back into the bathroom and just remind them I want out. I still want out. I haven't changed my mind.
Cecil, I've told this story before, but I think this all the time lately. In my bedroom, I have a light fixture that we bought before the pandemic from IKEA. And it's got a bulb in the center and then radiating from the bulb are all these like plastic point things that kind of light up. And by God, it looks exactly like a coronavirus. I mean, it looks like a goddamn coronavirus. And there is a part of me that is constantly convinced that at some point in late 2019, I got hit very hard on the head and I have been in a coma. I have just been in a coma this whole time, looking around the room and like doing the Wizard of Oz thing. And you were there and you were there. And just like, and that was a special virus that killed them. And just because it's all so crazy that if you wrote down, this wouldn't sell. If you wrote down, you'd be like, this is stupid. Go back to the drawing board. No, bring me orcs and elves fighting over a magic ring by a volcano.
Frazzledrip is what you're saying. These people in Germany are like, Frazzledrip. Fucking crazy, dude.
Bin ein Frazzledrip.
Love it.
Fuck.
I still want out. Whoever's listening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I still want out. I want to go back.
Okay, Gary, we're here.
No, wait, I love
this song.
Of course you do. It's your album.
Available now on phonograph cylinders.
A medium from 1910.
Hipsters love it. It's really vibey.
Gary, shut up and get on the roof.
Okay, here we go. Where do we go? Oh,
Gary, shut that off. What are you doing?
What? It's background music. Okay, fine.
Here, hold the rope.
Okay.
And lower it slowly.
Okay.
Okay, slow. Gary, I said shut it off.
It's my ringtone.
Stop it.
Okay. Hello? You good, Ian?
No, get down here.
Okay.
What the fuck, Gary?
What? The front door was open.
Why didn't you tell me?
You said get on the roof.
Just fucking help me up.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Here, put the presents in the stockings.
Where are these from?
Adam and Eve, of course.
Oh, nice.
Plus, I used code GLORY, so I got 50% off almost any one item. And that item's for Mom.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
And Dad will get 3 free gifts.
Ooh. For him, and I guess him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Wait, there's 2 more socks.
Yeah, it says Little Timmy and Little Sally.
It's fine, they're 30.
30 and living at home?
Shut up, Gary, they're millennials.
Too much avocado toast, not enough code glory.
Well, that's true.
What do they get?
6 free spicy movies and free shipping, I think.
Wait, who gets what?
I don't know, just give them... Oh shit, they're home.
Up the chimney?
No time, Gary, to the window.
To the wall?
The window.
Okay. Oh my God!
Fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
So this story, Cecil, comes from CNN Politics. Family of fallen January 6th officer explains snubbing McConnell and McCarthy. This is an integrity issue.
Jesus Christ.
So for a little
see this?
I did. So there was a congressional gold medal ceremony.
Yeah.
And they got their gold medal, and their the
family of the
lawmakers,
person who died, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And so they get their congressional gold medal, and Chuck Schumer is there, and fucking Mitch McConnell is there, and fucking McCarthy is there, and they shake hands. It's fucking great video. It's great video. They shake hands with Chuck Schumer, and then they look at Mitch McConnell, and they look at McCarthy, and McConnell's stupid fucking hand is out.
Yep.
And they just snub the fuck out of him.
Yeah. That is
delicious.
It's one of those things that like you watch and you're like, oh shit. Yep. You would hope that you in that situation would have as much integrity and as much like stalwartness. You know what I mean? Like, because it's one of those things you watch and you think, I don't know if I was in that situation, if I just wouldn't just fall into the norm and just shake the hands of all the people who are extending their hands. It takes a little bit of guts.
Chutzpah, yeah.
It takes some guts to look at somebody and be like, I'm not going to shake your hand. And not just that, I'm going to look you right in the face.
Yep.
And then be like, this is it. This is what you get from me, is one look in the face. And that's it. No words said.
Yep.
And I'm just going to turn around. And then I'm going to look fucking McCarthy in the face. Nobody's going to shake any hands. I'm moving on.
Yep.
I think that is one of those things like, you know, I hope it's one of those things that people see that have been, you know, the Blue Lives Matter flag people out in the world. I hope they see that and they see this group of people that facilitated the death of this guy. And then they see that, and then they see the person who was the family of this police officer not shake hands, and they finally it clicks. And there's something in there that clicks in their head, and they say, oh, you know what? Maybe I've been on the wrong side for a while.
You know, those people generally are people who are big fans of words like courage, bravery, and honor, and country, and all that, right? And that's exactly what this took.
Absolutely.
To be in front of those cameras, to be in front of very powerful people, to have that kind of pressure, and to just be like, no. And that should give your point. That should give them pause. That should give all those people who are interested in that word courage pause when they look and they see somebody being courageous, and they contrast that to the fucking cowardice of Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, who on January 7th dressed down Donald Trump, laid blame for January 6th squarely and unequivocally at his feet on January the 7th. He did that. And by fucking January the 10th, he had fucking Donald Trump's shriveled old balls slapping up against his chin.
Yeah. He fucking immediately forgave him. And then when the vote came around, he didn't vote for it when they impeached him. So he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And, you know, I probably wouldn't want to touch the guy either because I don't know if I'm going to turn black like his legs and face.
He's got like some weird, gross Midas touch.
He's got some weird, like, I'm going to turn into like a fungus like that guy. No, hard pass. I don't want to have that happen to me.
Are you going to cry? Piss your pants maybe? Maybe shit and cum?
So, Tom, I want to play this for you. I'm going to ambigonate it here. This is Republican Vicky Hartzer, and she's from, I think I read she's from Missouri. This is on the floor when they were debating the marriage equality bill. And this is her speech from the U.S. House. It's just a short speech. It's right at the end, and I just want to play it for you so you can hear.
I'll tell you my priority. Protect religious liberty, protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage. I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill. I yield back.
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
So there's nobody watching that speech.
There's nobody there. She's literally by herself.
She cried to an audience of nobody. Her grandstanding tears were for nothing.
Yeah. Like the guy, the attorney who runs the show while no one else is there.
Right.
That guy. Yeah.
I hope that you will. When she says the true meaning of marriage, I swear to God, I thought she was going to say the true meaning of Christmas.
True meaning of Christmas.
I thought she was going to be like, this bill is going to destroy the true meaning of Christmas, and Santa Claus, played by Tim Allen, was not going to be able to show it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
There's no way we can do a Christmas movie with Santa Claus or Deuce Bigelow or whatever that guy's name is. Rob Schneider.
Oh my God.
It's so cringy and it's also so fucking insulting
that
you could get this worked up about somebody else's union that has nothing to do with you. And you've got to fucking quiver voice your way through this dumb fucking thing that basically says, how dare you enjoy your life and do a private thing with another individual without my consent? How fucking dare you? Yep. My religion trumps everything in your life, and you fucking better remember it. That's what her quivering, shitty fucking religious voice was just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. First of all, I think her crying is lying. I don't believe her tears, right? I think those are fucking crocodile tears all day long.
Whatever.
I think those are fucking,
and I actually don't care. In fact, I want them to be real so it hurts her. I want her to feel pain.
I do too.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful if she actually was that worked up. But for me, I strongly suspect, I think all these people are liars.
She's a liar.
I think all these people are liars.
You're right.
I don't trust any of them. But why do you give a shit? Why is this the thing that motivates you? Why is this, of all the legislative things that we need to be worried about right now, in the middle of all of this shit that we've got going on, there's a bill over here, and it's, wait, what does that mean? Well, some people you don't know are going to get married. Well, are they grown-ups? Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to work.
Cool.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
I
don't give a fuck who gets married.
Literally caring. I mean, I care about the person who's marrying off their fucking fifth grader. I care about that. I certainly don't give a shit about two adults who fall in love and want to get married. Why the fuck should I care? And I don't care how your voice sounds like the fucking ghost of Christmas past. It's not going to change how I feel about are you fucking serious, you crazy person? What do you think you're going to accomplish with that fucking what do you think you're going to accomplish? Nothing. No, you're an idiot.
And they know this bill is as good as passed. So the thing is, these bills don't go to the floor, and we don't know who's going to vote for who. They whip the votes, they count the votes, then they take the vote. So they already know that so when you stand up in opposition to a vote like this kind of a speech is 100% grandstanding for your constituency so that you can show the bigots that you too are a bigot. What she's doing right now is fucking electioneering. That's all she's doing. She's running for office with her fucking crocodile tears and all she cares about is like, yeah, I'll hurt other people. If it gets me a job.
As long as I get elected. Yeah. Happy to do it.
As long as I get to keep my job, I'll hurt other people.
No, I mean, this is, I'm going to be super excited if I do it. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
what a win that'll be.
I'm glad I went to acting school so I could whip these tears up. I mean, it was a really bad, it was like upstairs acting school. It was a really bad acting school. But
she's got a tack in her shoe. She's pressing her toe down on.
Didn't fool anybody, lady. It didn't fool anybody. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that's the people in that she's going to go back to when she has her town hall with the 14 people in her district. She's going to say, I was there fighting for you for anti-gay rights. I wanted all those gay people to feel the shame, and I shamed them for you. That's what
when you wake up tomorrow and you're not married anymore because gay people are married, that was my fault. That wasn't my fault.
I didn't do that.
I'm still gonna wake up tomorrow married.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'll wake up and be like, it's not like every time a gay person gets married, like a straight person has to give. It's not like we got to trade our marriages for theirs. Like, okay, a gay couple wants to get married, so we got to pick a straight couple to unmarry. We have a limited amount of marries. Right.
Yeah, if anything, it's the bigot couples that lessen my marriage, not the gay couples.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like I don't want them in my club.
It's the bigot couples I'm embarrassed by that are married like me.
I don't want this lady in my club.
Yeah,
she's the fucking embarrassment.
Man, I'm good. I don't need you. So this week, we missed our stream, but you can always go back and check out the previous stream. We did a yay versus nay, which was really, really funny. You should check it out. Very, very funny bit that Ian put together. It's 2 weeks ago that we did, but we should be back this upcoming week. Check us out on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook, 9 p.m. Central this upcoming week, and we should have a good time. And don't forget to come back on the 21st. I think it's the 21st, on Thursday night. We are going to be doing a live stream, and all super chats are going in a tip jar and getting split to Ian and to Sarah, our 2 employees. So if you want to give them a shout out, you can come give a super chat on YouTube, and that money will go to them at the end of the night. So it's nice, something nice you can do for our 2 employees that work for us. But come check us out then. But we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards, vaccine nuts, shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
The opinions and information provided on this podcast are intended for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are solely that of Glory Hole Studios, LLC. Cognitive Dissonance makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, currentness, suitability, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, damages, or arising from consumption. All information is provided on an as-is basis. No refunds. Produced in association with the local Dairy Council and viewers like you.